Good evening, my fellow Americans. It is indeed Monday, May 16th, 2022. My fellow Americans, it's been quite a while that we have not touched base. Again, the Robert Duverny Show comes to you every Monday at 8 p.m. You know, if it's Monday, if it's 8 p.m., it's the Robert Duverny Show. Well, tonight, my fellow Americans, I'd like to welcome all of you, those who have not watched the Robert Duverny Show for some time. I'm encouraging you to call a friend, call a colleague, let them know the Robert Duverny Show is on. You know, if it's Monday, if it's 8 p.m., there's no other place to be but at the Robert Duverny Show. Well, tonight, my fellow Americans, I have quite a few things on the menu for you. I'd like to touch base with you. I believe that the month of May is a great month. We just celebrated Mother's Day. I'm sure most of you who have a mother or significant other in your life, I'm sure you had the time to wish them well, because we are a proud recipient of these wonderful women. And women have played major roles in our history, a major role in our lives, because our home will be dysfunctional without the women. Well, tonight, on behalf of all the men around the world, men with guts, men with integrity, we hereby wishing you all a happy Mother's Day. We could not have done it without you. I'm sure the world is better simply because of you. Tonight, fellow Americans, we will be discussing with you a series of topics that have been making headways. And at the Robert Duverny Show, this is simply disclosure. We take no sides. We're here to present the evidence to you as they appear and let you make your own judgment at the end of the day. Tonight, we'd like to take a moment of silence to the unfortunate event that took place in Buffalo, New York, just over the weekend. It shows that in America, we still have those who are disagree without being disagreeable. It is unfortunate of the horrific event that took place. These folks who were about their businesses, who were about doing the shopping at a plaza, they did not deserve that. I'm not sure neither one of them walked out the door that day thinking that they would not make it back. It shows that there is still those who give the worst of them, and this is not the best of America. America is a country of hospitality. It's a place where those who are persecuted elsewhere can come here and exercise their God's given right. This is the country we all aspire to be in. This is a country we all love. And when things like this happen, I would not call it a lone wolf. This young man, just only 18 years old, he had a manifesto. His main objective, his main goal was to take as many people as he possibly can. Unfortunately, he did not win. And my fellow Americans, this is not the last, and it has not been the first. We need to be vigilant. We need to do our part when it comes to our children. Teach them the values of America. The value of America is not in hatred. The value of America is not in our creed, our color, our sexual orientation. It's not about what we believe. The value of America is in the very best in each other. Regardless of your race, your background, your religious beliefs, that's what makes America great. This young man was only 18 years old, so he had this manifesto for some time. He was inspired by what happened in South Carolina a couple years ago when he was just 15 years old. Yet, that cultivated it in him and took the lives of 10 individuals who happened to be African American. The young man traveled 2 hours, but 200 miles to do this heinous crime. So we're not going to sit here and put the blame on anyone. No, we can do better. I think we failed our young man, we failed our people, and our politicians have failed us. When you have young men like this, who aspire to the leaders, to their parents, who so-called have a crazy agenda, and they feed into these things. This is what you get. This is what you get. Well, tonight I call on my politicians, the leaders of this country. Enough of the thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers would not bring these people back to life. They would not. But you, the leaders, we can tone down our rhetorics, we can tone our hatred, and teach these people the values, what America's all about. The beauty of America is what we all come together when we see the very best in each other, when we push each other to the highest peak. That's the beauty of America, not hatred. That's what we need in our leaders. Guys who have the good word of the Cuban cojones. But the leaders that I'm saying, they were a bunch of Devo. These are guys who aspire to have the best sound bites, just so they can have the coverage of the cable news. Because sometimes I wonder, that's the reason on the Robert Duverny show we don't take side now. None of the leaders impress me. Neither Democrats nor Republicans. They're a bunch of losers. They don't have the guts. The Republicans, they want to show toughness. And the Democrats want to be loved. That's why we are independent at the Robert Duverny show. Independent will tell you like it is, and they'll take action. We don't want to be loved. If I'm raising my kids, I want my kids to respect me and love me. First, to respect me first and love me. I'm creating citizens for future generations. And you on the other side, your toughness, yes, it's good. But your toughness is just blank. Talk a good game. In reality, it's hollow. We're all looking for leaders. I still believe in the beauty of America. The best days of America are still ahead of us. That's what we believe in. We're making great strides. Just recently, the Biden administration has just promoted a Haitian American woman. She's black, gay, female at the press. First time ever. Just recently, the U.S. Senate, with a vote of 53 to 47, had confirmed the first black woman to be at the highest justice. We're making strides, but yet, we're not quite there yet. We're not there yet. So let's build on what we already established. Let's build on the future of America. That's where the best is America. I still believe that the best is America is ahead of us. Well, tonight, on behalf of the Robert Duverny Show and the people of America, we extend our heartfelt condolences to those who have fallen victim of this heinous crime. You would be in our prayer and our thoughts. But more importantly, we will take action. We will keep our leaders true to the knowledge. We'll keep them true to the promises. That's what we'll do. And I will repeat that on a regular basis on this show. Because we have taken no sides. That's the best I can do. There's a great author who once said, I may be a drop in the ocean, but if you were to weigh me on a scale, you will see my difference. Thank you. Well, my fellow Americans, we're going to change topic real quick. We'll be talking about the current leak that happened in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court supposedly has a tight lead, but yet somehow something leaked to the media, and that has caused a circus, and quite a few of the justices they were not expecting this to happen. They're still baffled by the whole idea. it tells me there are those who may have different opinion of Roe versus Wade. Roe versus Wade, I should point out, what's the whole league is about Roe versus Wade, which has to do with the abortion rights, women abortion rights. Well, tonight I'd like to call on my women, and against the Robert Duverny show, against full disclosure, we take no sides in the political arena. But good reasoning will tell me if women are the center of this conversation, because who should have an abortion, really? Who should have an abortion? Nothing, no one else but the women. I think women, in this time, you tell these politicians, these leaders, these men, especially those men, get the hands of your pennies. Excuse my French. No disrespect here, but this is a thing that I'd like to see women to take action. I want to see more women involved here. You should be making your own decision. You don't let this man dictate your life, your livelihood. If you're raped, if you had a pregnancy that can cause your death, that should be an issue with you, your pastor, your husband, and not these politicians. Simple as that. So, we have an election, we have a midterm coming up. You have a unique opportunity to exercise your God's given right, to exercise your right at the polling booth. Let these folks know what you think. Hey, we're not taking side here, I'm just saying this is an issue that concerns women. I think women should be enraged, for lack of a better word, or somewhat engaged more in the decision making. I think I'd like to see more women around the table when it comes to issues like that. Roe versus Wade, that was a Supreme Court decision that took place in 1973, about 49 years ago. It'll be 53 years next year. So the conservative side of the Supreme Court want to gut it out, get rid of it. And I think the women, the ball's in your court right now. You're the majority in the nation. You are the concerned party here. I think you should tell this guy gets the hands of your, you know what. All right? Thank you. I thought I'd share this with you. Well, on a different topic, my fellow Americans, like I said, there's so much to talk about. We'd like to talk to you about the job market. As you know, that we recently had a job market for the month of April. As you know, reason I'd like to bring this into the fold is the fact that I'd like to touch base with you regarding your. Again, I'm just laying it out there. I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a contrast between the two parties, what they advocate, and at the same time, which direction they should go. All right? All right, very good. Thank you so much. Those of you already logged in, I would like to thank you. Graham, thank you for logging in. Bernadette Remy, thank you again. My brother here, Walter Duverny, Master Duverny, thank you for logging in. Well, the Robert Duverny Show, welcome you back. Those of you who have been away from the Robert Duverny Show, and this is a good opportunity to call your family members, let them know that we are live. Well, the topic I'd like to speak with you tonight is, right now, at this time, it is 8:15, 2015 after the hour, is the job market. Since the beginning of this year, we see a trend in the north of 400,000 during the job market. The job market has been, to say the least, exceptional. That tells me that the U.S. economy has been recovering, and that tells you about the inflation. In other words, I think we as a people, as leaders of this nation, we're doing a disservice to the nation. I believe that most of our politicians, they don't think much of of the constituents. The U.S. economy has suffered a lot as a result of the last 2 years. We know we had COVID, and COVID has been somewhat a major player in the economy. As you know, ports were closed, business were closed, restaurants were closed. We had a lot of deaths, hospitalization was to the roof. So we getting a sense of coming back to, we getting a sense of normalcy. All right. So as you know, we're getting back on our track. Of course, there has been loss, and those losses must be repaired. The U.S. government had the Senate has approved a $1.9 trillion in stimulus package, which we should be paying. This money, they're not coming from trees, people. I think that's where our leaders, elected leaders, failed us. There's a party that's trying to show that they love you, they on your side, they try to do well by you, by prepping the economy, by putting money in your pockets, and at the same time, you go out there and spend that money and stimulate the economy. That's why they call it stimulus. In other words, that stimulates the economy. So while you're stimulating the economy, there's more money coming into fold. The government give you a $1,400. You're not going to spend the $1,400. You're going to spend about $2,800 to $3,000. That's a stimulus. It stimulates the economy. But these money are borrowed. they are borrowed money. So in other words, if I want to give you $100, I'm going to borrow it somewhere else to give it to you, thinking that with the $100 that I gave you, you would in fact spend it in the economy by creating jobs, by doing some purchasing, and in return, you would end up spending more. Because when everybody's doing, in other words, you spend $100 at the grocery store, guess what? The cashier has a job. The store is selling. Guess what? Everybody tap into it. That's stimulus. Now, this money must be paid back. And that's the reason why we have inflation. And housing is going up. And well, those of you who may be thinking about a place to come, welcome to the state of Florida. State of Florida, especially the Tri-County. There's a moving object here, and then there's so much happening in South Florida. The tech industry is taking a hold here, and that tells you how the job market is doing. If Florida is in South Florida, technically is in the tech, that tells you there's an industry here that we all should be looking into and tap into. All right. So now for the month of January, I'm going to start in January. January, the job market reported a 467,000 jobs. 467,000 jobs. That was a record. That was for the month of January alone. And then in February, the job market showed a spike of $678,000. Oh, I'm sorry, 678,000 jobs. So what does that tell me? There's an uptick in the job market. Yet, the current administration is not telling a story. Well, my fellow Americans, if there's a story to be told, it should be told by you. Don't let somebody else dictate your story. Because guess what? They tend to tweak it, make it look like, hey, these are things that was in the pipeline, or these are things that we were able to do. But how could you do anything if you didn't vote for it? If you obstruct everything that we try to do? So, to my fellow Democrats, I think they're doing themselves a disservice. I think they have a unique opportunity for the midterm coming up to have a story to tell. They're not telling the story. I think they need to stop whining, stop looking for love. I mean, I think they all suffer ADHD. Sorry. Okay, but I think that's the if those of you who are maybe Democrats, again, I'm sorry, but again, this is your party. But now, look at it. January, you have 467,000 jobs you created. In February, you have a job growth of 678,000 jobs. In March, it take down a little bit, 431,000. And in April, 428,000. So in other words, you're averaging above 400,000 on a regular basis. So which bring the unemployment rate to 3.6%. That's why everywhere you go, they're hiring. Every store you go to, they're looking for people to work. So that's a story we need to tell. That's a story that $1.9 trillion you injected into the economy, it's paying dividends. That's what you go back to the people that have elected you. That's a story that need to be said. All right. So I think if I were to advise them, if they want any advice, I would stop whining about a lot of things that you cannot control, and these folks are going to obstruct you regardless. So why waste your time trying to work with them? Just tell the story. Whatever you do well, run with it. run with it. I love the previous administration. I mean, the guy does nothing. He brags about it. So guess, and people buy it. And then that's the notion. The American people are so naive. They believe anything you tell them. And then that's the reason why the other parties don't so well with them, and they have a chance to win what both houses, both the Senate and the House of Representatives, because they are consistent in their stories. If I'm lying, I'm dying. They are very consistent. If they say they're going to obstruct everything, they're going to obstruct everything. That's a good story. Well, to my Republican colleagues on the other side, well, the job you're doing, sir, it's quite phenomenal. You're very consistent. You stick to your message. You're not moving the needle. But guess what? It's working for you. And then this is a page that Democrats can take from the Republican. They are telling your story. They are telling your story their own way, with their own version. And the fact that they never linger, they never yell to your beliefs, the constituents are more likely to believe them. And that's what they expect to do well in the next election. So I encourage you to stay tuned, because there's a lot at stake in the next midterm election that we all should take notice of. And I encourage you to stay tuned. All right. Now, I'd like to touch base with you quickly with Judge Brown Jackson, who will be confirming, she's already been confirmed by the Senate by a vote of 53 to 47. We had 3 Republicans who actually supported her nomination, the likes of Mitt Romney from Utah, Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, and also Susan Collins from Maine. Those were the 3 Republicans who actually jumped the boat and then to join the Democrats on the other side to confirm her 53 to 47. Yeah. Yes, brother. Yeah, Judge Jackson will be she taking the oath by the Chief Justice John Roberts the next coming month, about the month of June, because Justice Breyer is due to retire next month June. So Mrs. Judge Jackson, which her title, with all due respect, she will be ready for the new Supreme Court calendar year of October. Remember, the Supreme Court, they'll go on recess for the summer, and they'll resume their calendar year in October. Judge Jackson will be the 116th member of the justice from the Supreme Court to be appointed. And again, she's the first ever woman to serve at that position. I mean, a black woman, African American woman, to serve at that position. And currently, there are 3 women right now serving right now at the Supreme Court. The men, of course, are in the majority. She will be joining Amy Garrett. She will also join Elena Kagan, and also Sonia Sotomayor. These are those 4 women will be a force to bump heads with the men. Again, the only that will tell you the only 3 women will be 3 women liberals in the Supreme Court. And those 3 women, not only they're women, they're minority. They also, one is Jewish, one is Hispanic, and one is African American. So the U.S. court could not do enough. Of course, the other woman on the other side was chosen by a Republican president. Of course, she's a white woman, and Amy, and she will, of course, those 4 women will be 4 against 5, and of course, most likely will be 3 against 6. 6 conservative and 3 liberal women. All right. So this is the Supreme Court that we're going to have. I think it should be interesting to see how these women will debate their philosophical view on dissent, and how the justice system could be best served the American people. Again, when the framers, the fathers, founded this great republic that we call the U.S., that's exactly what they have in mind. They have three branches: the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. The judiciary, that's where the Supreme Court sits. They were independent, should have been independent. What we've seen in recent years, the past, I would say the past decade, we've seen a polarized Supreme Court, and there are those who were dormant, and which brought me to the attention of enlightenment tonight. The topic I wanted to really, I was looking to engage with you tonight, but with so many things in mind, was enlightenment. Enlightenment, well, also known as the Age of Reason. This is what we see in America. Reasoning is no longer is non-existent. The reasoning, this is what gives you it's hope that we can sit around and have a good discussion, and then based on facts, not on feelings. Age of Reason is intellectual, is cultural movement and, that took place during the 18th century. Part of the late 17th century, but early 18th century, Enlightenment really emphasized reason over suspicion, it's reason over superstition, and science over blind faith. And we're living in the complete opposite. I mean, if you were to look at history, and if we have not learned from history, I think we are in a unique time right now, unique opportunity for us to go back to the late 17th and 18th century, where Age of Reason was taking place, where those philosophers were they were wrestling with the minds, and then it was the great time to be in existence. And then and the beauty about history, we can learn from history and then not let the same mistakes happen again. Well, it's saddened to say that we're living in a time that we think that we're going backward. We're not talking to our neighbors, we're not talking to our leaders, we're not talking to our political foe. I mean, it's unfortunate. If you see what's happening in Ukraine right now, I mean, it's over territories, it's about power. And we're going to delve into that for you next time, and to tell you where the war is coming from, and the politics behind it. And I'm sure you would be amazed not to be shocked of what's happening. But then again, I think when we bring everything to the fold and making sense to you, and you have a better view, you have a better understanding of what's at stake. It's already 8:30. Our time has come to a halt. Again, as you know, all good things must come to an end. This is, of course, the end of our show. But just before we leave tonight, I'd like to take this time to wish you all, my fellow Haitians who are watching live, a happy Flag Day, the Haitian Flag Day, which will be this Wednesday, May 18th. May 18th is a day that the Haitians celebrate the Flag Days. Haiti is a country who took their independence back in 1804, January 1st, 1804, and they've been freed ever since then. But there's still a lot of work to be done, and we're praying for the people of Haiti. We're praying for those who aspire to greatness. And Haiti has been a beacon of hope for other nations throughout the world. Those who were unfortunate to be slaves, and yet who, when they look up Haiti, they took aspiration, since we were the first black republic to be independent. Again, on this day, since we won't meet you until the following week, I'd like to wish you all a happy Haitian Flag Day, and all the best. Well, my fellow Americans, on this note, I should wrap it up and wish you all a very lovely night, and looking forward to seeing you not too long in the near future. Just before I say goodbye, I'd like to take this time to wish a happy birthday to some of my loyal fans I've not heard. Of course, Mrs. Michael Torchon from the great state of Massachusetts. I'd like to take this time wishing you a happy birthday. I'd like to wish happy birthday to my old boss, Jeffrey Thomas, from the great city of Cold Springs, who's celebrating his 65th birthday. Happy retirement, Jeff Thomas. All right, and of course, Daniela Lamorto, of course, Daniela Vincent will be celebrating her birthday tomorrow. Daniela, America and Haiti would love to take this time in unison, wishing you a happy birthday. Again, to all those of you who are watching the Robert Duverny Show, remember that to subscribe. And if you have a friend who have not been a subscriber, you have a unique opportunity to let them know that the Robert Duverny Show is a show for not to miss. Well, I just saw my brother Ambrose Odelson, the great teacher in Miami-Dade County, just logged in. He's a bit late tonight. But my brother, wishing you a happy Haitian Flag Day, and keep up the good work that you're doing in the city of Miami. America is better because of your teaching, sir. Thank you all, and until we meet again next time, my fellow Americans, have a lovely evening. Thank you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.